Hi, this is Andy from Orbit Media. I want to point out something that has been very useful for me in content marketing, which is using Google Analytics to figure out which of your articles is growing your email list the fastest. Very few digital marketers know exactly which URLs and which blog posts and which things they published are inspiring visitors to subscribe, to move all the way from the mouse to the keyboard, type in their email address, and opt in. I'm going to use AI to do this because I'm kind of a klutz with Excel and with spreadsheets. So this is a method for using AI to analyze GA4 data to find your top converting articles. Let's jump in. Okay, here's the idea. You published an article. Here's an example of an article. This is an article about using AI for SEO or something like that. And down here at the bottom of the article, there's an opportunity for the visitor to subscribe. Some people do, some people don't. That's something that you can do on any article on my site. It's a sticky footer. So this method will kind of rely on that. The idea being that this specific URL may refer people to the newsletter sign up thank you page. Some sites, there's kind of a, it all happens on one URL because there's a pop-up, or maybe maybe other sites, maybe the button takes you to a page from which you subscribe and there's another step in the funnel. But you can adapt this however. You'll get the idea just from the method. I'm going to use AI to figure out what percentage of visitors from every one of these articles subscribe to the newsletter by figuring out when these articles were refers to the thank you page. I actually need two pieces of data for that. I also need to know the total number of visitors to this because obviously here's the math. Visitor visits the thank you page when that article was a refer divided by the number of visits to that article. That's the conversion rate of a specific article, right? Makes sense, right? It's the conversions divided by traffic equals the conversion rate. And I'm going to do it for all of them all at once. So it's a calculated metric, the kind of thing that doesn't appear in analytics. There is no report in analytics that shows you this per se. You could probably build like a Looker Studio thing for it. You could certainly do it in Sheets, without ChatGPT, but I'm bad at VLOOKUPs in Excel, so I'm going to use AI for it. Here's the method. First, we'll create the report that shows the traffic to all of your content. I'm going to do that as an exploration. I'm going to go to Explore. Click to create a new blank exploration. It can be very simple. I'm going to add just one dimension, which is page path. That is the Google secret code for URL. And I'm going to add another metric just simply for sessions. Couldn't be simpler. Very basic. Sessions, confirm. Now, we can put this in just with the rows being the page path and the value being the sessions. The most basic report you could possibly build. But I need to make a filter to only show my blog posts. So filter so that the page path contains /blog, which is the folder in which all of our blog content lives. There it is. I'm going to set a nice long date range. Let's do we'll do last calendar year. I like to look at the heat map. What's the difference? I'm going to export this. Just click export to download to CSV. That's half the battle. Okay. Second report is to show the number of times each of these URLs sent visitors to the newsletter sign up thank you page. Slightly different, but I don't need to do it in a different exploration. I can do it in the same exploration. I'll just make a different tab. So while I'm at it, let's name these. I'll call these conversions per article. That's the name of the exploration. I'll be able to come back to it and reference it anytime. This first tab was just traffic. The second tab is going to be just conversions. Free form, conversions. Okay, so for this one, I need one more dimension, which is the page refer, right? When these articles sent traffic, they were the refer, sent traffic to the thank you page. So for that, I'm just going to come in here and choose refer. This, by the way, is the reason I have to use an exploration. Refer is not available as a dimension inside the report section. Don't know why. A bit frustrating. But that's all I really need. I'm going to make this second report now. For the rows, I'm going to show just the page refer. And for the values, I'm going to show the sessions. But really, I only want this report to show the people who actually made it to the newsletter sign up thank you page. So for the filter, I'm going to filter out anything that's not a visit to the newsletter sign up thank you page because that's what I want to see these as refers to that. So it's when the page path contains, I think it's the thank you, this newsletter sign up thank you page. Yeah, we'll do that. Actually could exactly match that even would be better. Exactly match, same thing. Newsletter sign up thank you page, apply. So this is the number of times each of these sent visitors to the newsletter sign up thank you page. Now, when I export this, I'm going to try to clean up that spreadsheet, but now's a perfectly good time to clean up this spreadsheet. So you could do things that would remove rows. For example, I wasn't looking for articles, not the top level blog. And I'm sure you can get to that newsletter sign up from the homepage. I'm not looking for that either. So you can do a little bit of cleanup in here. The page itself, there was some kind of self-refer. We don't really need that. I'm looking for just the articles. So I'm going ahead and right-clicking to include some of those, which makes more filters for those. But this is mostly what I needed, right? Again, my visual preference is to see the heat map instead. So you can see this is the number of times each of these articles sent visitors to the newsletter sign up thank you page. That's the total conversions. So the total conversions divided by the traffic will give us the conversion rate per article. So all I need to do now is to download this file as a CSV. Now we need to clean up these files a little bit so that it doesn't confuse the AI. So I'm going to open them up and I'm going to edit them just a tiny bit. They will just need a little bit of cleanup. So here I am inside the first file. This file was the traffic file. I'm going to delete these comment rows. Don't need those at all. Page path. I'm going to give this a more specific, a common name with the other file. I'm just going to call it articles, for example. Don't need this. That's it. This file is ready to do the analysis. I might rename it traffic or something. Now let's look at the second file. I'm going to open that file as well, and we're going to do that same tiny bit of cleanup to it. Now I'm inside the second file. I'm going to remove those first 6 rows because those are just comments. That could just confuse the AI. Also that thing, I don't know what you need that for. I'm going to rename this to be the same as the other one. We're just going to call it articles. So now these 2 files, and these are useless rows, these 2 files kind of have the same structure. One of them is the full URL, and one of them is the relative URL, everything after the .com. So I'm going to actually construct my prompt so that it understands that. It'll kind of prep it. I'm going to prime it on the kind of data that I'm giving it. But right now, this should be good. I've got both my files. I've got my traffic to the articles. I've got the number of times each of these articles send a visitor to the thank you page. It's the total conversions. Now I'm going to upload those to ChatGPT. Okay, here I am inside ChatGPT. I've got 2 files that I uploaded, blog traffic, blog conversions, I named them. And here's my prompt. I'm giving you 2 GA4 reports. One shows traffic to blog posts. By the way, this is helpful. I'm telling it that file has relative URLs. It doesn't show the HTTP, www, that stuff. It's just / blog post. The other one shows conversions from those same blog posts. That one actually shows the full URLs, right? Because that was the page refer. One's page path, one's page refer. I want to tell it this so it doesn't get too confused. Merge those into a single spreadsheet, joining the data as you would with a VLOOKUP. Excel Pro could do this without AI. I'm klutz with Excel, so I'm using AI. And it's also a fun use case to see just how you can upload data to ChatGPT, combining AI with analytics. Provide link to download. That's a very important part of the prompt because it might give you back something that just like all the data is ripped out, or it's like a bunch of blank stuff, or it's super confused, or removed everything. So I'm going to, once it merges them, I click to download, to view the merged file, which I take a look at. Here it is. Looks pretty good to me. Right? That's exactly what I wanted. I wanted the articles, the sessions, and the number of conversions for each. Now, I could literally just do the math right here, but since I'm already in ChatGPT, I'm going to let it do that for me. Here's the prompt. Super simple. Using the merged data, create a bar chart showing the number of showing the conversion rate for the top 20 blog posts. Wow. Look, this is always true. There's a few things that you publish that get like 2x the other stuff, right? I've got a couple articles that are much more inspiring, triggering many more visitors to subscribe to the newsletter compared to the others. Now you know exactly which things you publish that are growing your list, which things that are inspiring people to actually give you their personal information, which things that are decoupling your destiny from search and social, which are big tech and not really in the business of sending you free traffic. And some of these things are just way more effective than others. So now the next step is obvious. Put on your traffic driving gloves. Think of all the ways that you could drive traffic. You woke up this morning and decided what to post on social media. Why not post one of these? Right? Some of these are much more effective at growing your list than others. Link to these from your email signature. Put these back in heavy social rotation. Update these and put them back on top of your blog. Put these back on your homepage. Link to these from high traffic blog posts, right? In other words, put your best cheese on top of your best mousetraps. All the ways, right? I'll link to in the description to an article with like 70 different ways to drive traffic to an article. Very effective, very useful. Very few marketers actually know the conversion rate from visitor to subscriber from their content. But now in just a couple reports and with a bit of AI, you can get that data quite easily. It made the report, it made the bar chart. Love it. I love asking AI to do visualizations for me. Okay, this was Andy from Orbit Media, just showing how to calculate the conversion rate from visitor to subscriber from every one of your articles. Hope it was helpful. Know anyone else for whom this might be useful? Feel free to send it along. That kind of word of mouth thing makes all the difference to us. And if you find these useful, come back soon. We'll keep posting these. Thanks again. See you next time.